Well, good evening, everybody. It's a beautiful Tuesday, amazing grace. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I'm glad you chose to spend a little of your time here with us tonight. And as always on Tuesday night, when we don't have something else going on, we get on here and pick a little bit and whatever. Linda's not here tonight. She went to a Bible study, and she I'll be back by the time I get finished. But I'm here by myself, just me and this old Martin guitar. And I thought I'd play it tonight. I should have called this Capo Tuesday, because I've got 2 or 3 songs that I'm playing with capoed up. A Martin guitar like this sounds good. They sound good open, but a lot of bluegrass pickers play them with capo and different chords, like especially if they're playing in the key of B, which a lot of them do, and they'll capo up here and play an open G, and it really sounds good. This guitar is really coming alive. You know, it's brand new. I talked to the factory. It was manufactured in April. That's a brand new 25 model. And I was not concerned, but I was curious about the wood. Some of these were made with mahogany. It has a mahogany neck, but this is Indian rosewood on the sides. And of course, it's Sitka spruce, which they do a lot of guitars with that stuff on the front. And it really I kind of wanted a D18. I've had my daddy's D18 years ago, and the D18 is $2,500, and then you got to put electronics in if you're gonna play it with a pickup in it, which it costs you $200 or $300. And this guitar was just a little over $2,000. I think the price sticker on it was like $20.99. And it's got a little more trim than the D20. It's got this herringbone around the sound hole here, and it has a black and a white binding on it, where most of the D18s just black binding around, and so it's a little snappier. But what I really like is it's made like I've told you this before, like a Triple O series. The thickness is not as thick as a D18 or a D28. And but the combination of the wood and the way they put it together with the new X bracing that's in here and everything, all the new technology, it really it's turned out to be a fine guitar. And with the arthritis that comes with old age, I had a guy go through it, and he trimmed the nut down and lowered the strings as low as action could be on it without it rattling, and adjusted everything on it. Completely set it up, so it's ready to go. I'm telling you, it'll go. city and looking for a key. I said I had it set up with a capo, and I've never played that song in the structured key of G like I have it. And it's an A with a capo on it, and I've never done that before. And I caught myself thinking, now wait a minute, do I want to go here or do I want to go here? And it didn't just come automatically. So let's see what kind of play for you. Looking for a city. Here, let's go. Stay in the whole Redback book for a minute. Oh, fly away. Let's get rid of the capo. Get real here. That has that Martin ring. And I haven't forsaken my Taylor. That's for sure. This guitar just has a ring of its own. I'm going to take this out on tour for this fall and just let the Taylor rest in the rack over here. I got a date booked today and the end of October in Pennsylvania, and of course I've got other things I put with it, so we'll definitely be going. I had talked about this before. We'll be going up into Pennsylvania for about a week. Now when the leaves are real beautiful, we'll be in the motorhome, just take it day by day and enjoy the sights and take our time and enjoy the trip. Of September, 2 weeks. I'll probably be here next week, but the second of, which will be the day after Labor Day, I won't be here because we'll be driving. We're heading down to Georgia, and we're going to hang out down a few days and see some friends. And my birthday's coming up that week, and my brother's coming over to a campground on the lake, and we're going to spend some time together, just lay back and relax for 3 or 4 days. Then we have 2 services on Sunday, the 7th of September, in Douglasville, Georgia. Douglasville, Georgia. At, on Strickland Street, Calvary Church of God. My mind just went blank for just a second there. Calvary Church of God on Strickland Street in Douglasville at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. And then we're going to trudge over to Dallas, Georgia, just about 2 blocks up. If you know anything about Dallas, Georgia, you know where Hardy Chevrolet is. And so we're going to be about 1 block up on Macklin Road toward Marietta. Be 1 block up there on the right, Church at the Well. They meet in the building of Christ, I think it's Christ-like Church, and but it'll be the first church on the right, just a quarter of a mile there at 4 p.m. Now, all my friends out West Georgia that has asked us and asked us, when you going to be at Red Cross? When you going to be? I hope you'll make that date at 4 o'clock on September the 7th. That's Grandparents' Day at church at the Well. And then we'll come back home, and then later on in September, let's see, somewhere I think I talked to a pastor in Wake Forest last night that Brother Jesse Parrish. We might go up there and be with him. He's just out of Wake Forest. We'll probably go up and visit with them one Sunday, either probably late September. And then October starts out in Savannah, Georgia. Good old Savannah on the second Sunday. I don't know what the date is. I just know it's the second Sunday. And then 2 weeks later, we'll head out for a week to Pennsylvania up through there. And then North Carolina, November has things cooking. So we're going to be back on the go a little bit. Going to put some miles on the old motorhome. That old 8.1 workhorse will get out there and do the job. All right, let me play this. I've played this a lot of times. I love playing Linda's back. Y'all hearing that rattling dishes and pots and pans? She came back and stuck her head in the door. I hear her rattling pots and pans there. Oh, here's a song that I love to play. me. Well, let me pick the old iPad, see who's in here. I'm sure I know somebody, and a couple of them jumped on Facebook there and said I'll be there. Looked like there's a few here. Somebody's few comments. I hope they're good comments. Michael Gable. Mike Gable was over in Douglasville at Calvary Church of God for years. I remember one year, Mike, or we might have done it for several years, but they used to have a wild game dinner or supper. Man, big, huge crowd. They'd have probably 400 or 500 people in that big building and feed them. And we played for them one year for that. That was a lot of fun. But Mike, I guess he retired or whatever and moved over to Alabama, and he goes to church for my brother now, of all things. He over at Center, Alabama, Church of God. And Mike has learned to play bass and playing bass with the praise team. But Mike, it's good to see you on here, bud. Appreciate that. And Linda Moore, I got to call your pastor. I say your pastor. I don't know if you're still over at the same place, same church there, with Brother Holder, but we haven't been there on a Wednesday night probably in 10 years. Well, maybe not that long, but before COVID. And so I need to call Steve, and we need to get back over there on Wednesday. We're not that far away now. We're probably less than 100 miles from there. And so it's always good to see you, Linda. And Paul Duncan, you're a faithful viewer. We appreciate you, bud. And Papa Joe Salter. I hope you're doing well, buddy. You asked me about these picks. I ordered 5 more of them because I really like it. And I found out, I knew this, but the material that a pick is made out of has a lot to do with what it does to the string. And they came up with the right combination. I don't like this gaudy looking spring on the front of it, but it helps hold it on your hand. And you can use it as a thumb pick or finger picking. And man, it works good. I had ordered 3, and I thought, well, I like this, so it was kind of pricey to get 3. One of these picks, I think you thought they were about $12 or $13. They're not that much, Papa Joe. They're about $6 or $8 a piece if you get them right place. I got these online on eBay at Jack's Music Center or something like that. But I ordered another 5 for $29 for free shipping. That's less than $5 a piece. And so I've got a pocket full of them now. And I've still got my speed picks. I got regular picks. I got picks. I got them coming out the ear. And bunch of picks. Well, let's go back a year or two. Let's see what happened back in the old hair days. And I've said many times that probably one of my favorite times of music. This year, my 65th year, traveling and playing gospel music. Mom and Daddy and me started singing in 1960. And a few years later, my brother Virgil joined, and the 4 of us done that until I left. And Virgil went to service, and I went to Windy Battle. He went to one military, and I went to the other. But this is about 65 years, but we had our sweet baby daughter, Donna Lynn. She was 4 weeks old when I went with Windy Battle. Wendy came out to our house, and him and Melba, and we talked about, made the arrangements to go with him. I said, well, I got to have 4 weeks when my baby comes to make sure everything's okay. And so I went with Wendy 4 weeks after she was born, 1972. And she's got 2 married sons now. We have 2 grandsons and 2 granddaughters now. And so, but I guess probably some of the best times that Linda and I had on the road was with Donna. We really had some good times and some good singing, some good service. It was just a real good time. And this is some of those times we did television for Country Boy Eddie over WBRC Channel 6 in Birmingham, Alabama. And this is some of that tape we did for him.
still God in the night. You talk of faith when you're up on the mountain. Talk comes easy when life's at its best, but it's down in the valley of trials and temptations that's when faith is really put to the test. For the God on the mountain is still God in the valley. When things go wrong, He'll make them right. And the God of the good times is still God in the bad times. The God of the day is still God in the night. The God of the day, the God of the day is still God in the night.
Yeah, that was a good little song. I think that was God on the Mountain. I think you got the right song. But those were the days that if you got when you got a Christmas gift bag and you looked in there, there was a hairbrush. Did we all have hair? All right. I was looking across here. Last week or week before last, I started playing a track that I had done for Selena Mangrum when before she married Tim King. Years ago, I did an album for her. It's a good album, great singing. And she recorded this song, and I've been playing the track is in the key of G, and I don't sing it. And the track I played, somehow or another, was cut off, and I found the full version. So I'm going to give it another shot this time, see how it goes. calm the troubled waters of your soul. Well, let me take one more quick look and see if anybody got on board here. And, whew, almost warm in here with these lights and everything, and TV monitor on, and all the equipment and everything. I need a little more air conditioned. Let's see. It looks like there's some more on here. I don't know how you can go back and find the people that don't comment that's just watching, but there's a bunch of them on here. Anyway, all right, well, I'll play one more and get out of here. It's 8:31 in the Carolinas. Oh, Lord. Got a lot going on in this world, don't we? And I've never seen such a time. The Bible says that there'd be talk of peace. There'd be peace, 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 and then sudden destruction. That's coming. And but this talk of peace, I don't know if there's ever been a time that there wasn't something going on with somebody in this country, a scrimmage that some of them we don't know about. There was wars going on with people I didn't even hear on the news, or we didn't even know that they said that our president helped us stop. Well, we don't hear much about Israel and Gaza right now. It's not, that's been buried in the news, so we don't know what's going on. And then this thing with Russia and Ukraine, man, I'm telling you, I don't know how. I'll never see Ukraine rebuilt in my lifetime. That place is just torn to shreds, and so many thousand lives have been lost. But we don't know what tomorrow's going to hold. And but you know, God knows what's going on. God's allowing things to happen. God has put things into position. He's a sovereign God. He's the same God. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He changes not. He hasn't changed his plan. He hadn't turned his back on these people. He's just a sovereign God that things are going to be as he allowed them to be. And but he does, you know, I'm so glad that as a Christians, that the Bible says prayer changes things, that we have a lifeline that we can go to when the troubles and the turmoils and the things that bother us, or the things that beset us or push us down, or the health issues, we can go straight to the throne room of God without any hesitation. And prayer changes things, and that's for sure. And but I don't know what tomorrow holds. That'd be hard to see. I'm gonna turn on Fox News. I haven't watched TV in today, and I'm gonna turn on. I had it on. I napped through it, but I'm gonna watch a little bit and see what's going on. I don't know who what tomorrow holds, but sure know who holds tomorrow.